This is Colorado in 2004, and this is Colorado in 2020. That's a big difference. The state shifted almost 20 points to the left in just 16 years. How did Colorado shift so fast to the left, and what strategies did Democrats use to conquer the state? Today we'll look at the 5 reasons Colorado flipped from red to blue. Make sure to watch until the end because Democrats have used this same strategy to flip many other states blue. First, let's take a look at Colorado's history. Colorado used to be a reliably red state. From 1920 to 2004, it only voted for a Democrat presidential candidate 5 times. Many factors played into Colorado being a Republican state. 1, it was in the Midwest. 2, it was a more rural state. And 3, it was overwhelmingly white. So how did this change? What made the state shift left? The first reason Colorado shifted left is because the state became more racially diverse. For many decades, Republicans relied on white voters to win Colorado because white voters were traditionally more Republican voting bloc. From 2000 to 2020, the white population in Colorado went from being 74.7% of the population to 67.3%. Meanwhile, the Democrat-leaning Hispanic population jumped from 17.2% to 22%. The Hispanic population increasing by 5% definitely would help Democrats as they traditionally did better with minority voters. Meanwhile, the white population decrease would definitely hurt Republicans as they usually did better with white voters. But this still doesn't explain a 20-point shift to the left, so we have to keep looking. Number 2. Out-of-state migration to urban centers. Urban centers have long been a strong area for Democrats. Between 2000 and 2020, many urban and suburban centers saw large population growth. As Colorado's cities saw more industrialization, many people were attracted to move to cities like Denver and Colorado Springs and their suburbs, giving these cities more political power and shifting them further to the left. Between this period, Denver County's population grew 29.1%, Adams County 48.3%, and Weld County 81.3%. Many people who migrated to Colorado were liberals from big cities, and as they came to Colorado, Colorado itself became more liberal. But again, even with this large population growth, it still doesn't explain all of Colorado's massive shift to the left. Later in this video, I will show you all the Democrats' genius strategy that was the final nail in the coffin for the Republicans in Colorado. Number 3. Decrease or stagnation of rural counties' population. Between 2000 and 2020, as urban suburban centers saw a rapid increase of population, most rural counties in Colorado stayed the same or lost population, especially the rural counties on the eastern side of Colorado. Some counties to note that lost population were Baca County, which lost 22.6% of its population, Cheyenne County 21.1%, and Powers County 16.8%. Now this was really bad for Republicans because all 3 of these counties were really Republican and voted Republican by large margins in elections. And in the recent 2024 election, all of these counties voted for Trump by 15 points. So as Republicans lost voters in these deep red areas, their influence in Colorado decreased. Number 4. White voters voting more Democratic. In 2004, in the election between George W. Bush and John Kerry, according to this poll, white voters in Colorado voted for Bush by 15 points. That is part of the reason why he was able to win Colorado in 2004 by 4 points. But then fast forward to 2020, according to an exit poll, Biden won white voters by 16 points. That's a crazy 31-point shift. I have to believe a large part of this shift had to do with liberal white voters moving to the state and Republicans bleeding with white suburban women after Trump won in 2016. That and the fact that white voters were Republicans' best demographic definitely set them up for failure in upcoming elections. And now we have the last reason I believe Colorado shifted left. Number 5. Competent Democratic leadership. After a relatively disappointing 2004 election for Democrats, in which George W. Bush won the state of Colorado, Democrats picked a new leader to chair the Colorado Democratic Party. By a narrow vote, they elected Pat Wake to chair the state party. Pat Wake was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and raised in Conroe, Texas. In college, she became a registered nurse and received an MA in psychology. Now being the chair of the Colorado State Democratic Party, she would put that knowledge to work. In her resignation letter written in 2011, she said what her top priorities were as the state Democratic chair. My top priorities were committing the Colorado Democratic Party with our local communities, grassroots activists, core supporters, and the voting public. And then she followed up in another paragraph, building a new farm team of Democratic candidates around the state by working with local committees to recruit Democratic candidates in every jurisdiction and district possible in the state, and improving upon our party's organizational infrastructure to help Democrats across the state reach into their communities and get more people to the polls in each election. And lastly, empowering people like you to take ownership of the party and help build a structure that represents every Coloradan and ensures long-term success of our great party. Her structure of meeting with grassroots activists, competing in every part of the state, and recruiting good Democrat candidates has been an approach taken by many state Democrat leaders. Ben Wickler, the Wisconsin State Democrat Party chair, has used this approach that Pat Wake used in competing in every part of Wisconsin. That is part of the reason Wisconsin was the best swing state for Kamala Harris. So, looking back at how Colorado turned blue, we see a step-by-step process of how Democrats systematically turned the state Democrat. From investing in infrastructure that attracted many liberals to move to big cities, to competing in every part of Colorado, even the dark red areas, Democrats have used Colorado as a playbook to flip many other states blue. Democrats have been using these same strategies in states like Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas, where cities continue to grow and outpace rural populations. So going forward, how do Republicans compete in states that are becoming more urban and less rural? It seems that Republicans are going to have to make up ground in urban and suburban areas to make up for the loss of population in rural areas. In the 2024 election, Donald Trump made significant gains in urban centers, which helped mask the underlying problem for Republicans in the left-trending suburbs. Just look at the state of Georgia. Around Atlanta, it looks like a donut. Trump made gains in Atlanta while losing ground in the suburbs. While Republicans are coming off a big win in 2024, they must not forget that they have a big job ahead of them making up losses in the suburbs, because that is the only way of stopping states like Georgia, North Carolina, and Texas from becoming the new Colorado. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to smash the like button down below and subscribe. Comment your thoughts or suggestions in the comment section down below. Tell me if you like these kinds of videos. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Shout out to Diana Barbie, our first channel member. If you would like to become a member, you can join near my channel logo. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.